First, how leaks to reporters are revealing White House lies. Remember the emails proving that Donald Trump Jr. was willing to collude with Russia? President Trump tried to help his son Don Jr. explain away that meeting with a Russian lawyer. Were they trying to cover it up? At first, one of the president's lawyers, Jay Sekulow, went all over television and denied everything. He denied that the president was involved at all.
The president didn't sign off on anything. He was coming back from the G20. The president wasn't involved in that. The president, but I do want to be clear, the president was not involved in the drafting of the statement and did not issue the statement. Let's focus on what the president was aware of. Nothing.
Those denials held up for a couple of weeks until the Washington Post reported that, in fact, it was the president himself who dictated Don Jr.'s misleading statement. Members of the Trump's own inner circle were the sources for the story. And Sarah Huckabee Sanders eventually acknowledged that he had a hand in the statement. Now, the special counsel Robert Mueller's team has issued grand jury subpoenas related to that June 2016 meeting. Then there's the matter of phone calls, or actually claims of calls that never happened. On Monday, the president claimed this about the president of Mexico.
And even the president of Mexico called me. They said their southern border, very few people are coming because they know they're not going to get through our border, which is the ultimate compliment.
Now, the claim of that call was false. We'll get to how we know that. Then, in the leaked transcript of the president's interview with the Wall Street Journal, we heard Trump insisting that he, quote, got a call from the head of the Boy Scouts saying his speech at the Jamboree was the greatest speech that was ever made to them, and they were very thankful. You remember the uproar about that speech. It turns out neither of those phone calls actually happened, and the White House eventually had to admit it. The Boy Scouts not only stood by their CEO's earlier statement apologizing for the political rhetoric of the president's speech, the organization said they were unaware of any call from national leadership placed to the White House. When it comes to Mexico, officials there were quick to respond about the alleged call to the Mexican president, saying in a statement that President Enrique Peña Nieto has not been in recent communication via telephone with President Donald Trump. So all these statements were acknowledged by the White House. We heard from Sarah Huckabee Sanders saying, actually, there weren't phone calls at all. Watch.
He specifically said that he received a phone call from the president of Mexico.
They were actually direct. They were direct conversations, not actual phone calls.
So he lied. He didn't receive.
I wouldn't say it was a lie. That's pretty bold accusation. It's the conversations took place. They just simply didn't take place over a phone call. That he had them in person.
This matters because credibility matters. Who you can trust matters. And it matters because small lies can beget bigger and bigger lies.